Right then.
Continue straight for 45 minutes to Johor Bahru, KLIA, Klang.
Here we go, resuming our journey, third segment on the way to Kuala Lumpur. We just pulled over at this rest station at a place called Behrang. It's just a small rest station, but got to make a pit stop. I used the washrooms here, and bloody hell, they just refitted the washrooms, and it's spanking clean, inside here. They've got a good restroom for the disabled, and of course separate male and female areas, but it's all really, really clean. Lovely. And with that said, let's resume our drive onwards to Seremban. We are about, I think we are about 40 minutes or so from Kuala Lumpur, and from then it's another hour to Seremban. So perhaps in about 2 hours we should be in Seremban. Traffic at this time should still be all right, but once we reach daylight hours, then the traffic from Kuala Lumpur to Seremban, which is only about 40 or 50 kilometers distance, the traffic then will become horrible, because it's the weekend, Saturday, and folks from KL are headed out for the weekend, and one of their favorite destinations is a small beach town of Port Dickson, which is a little bit away from Seremban. So the Kuala Lumpur to Seremban highway will get extremely congested, and sometimes the drive from Kuala Lumpur to Seremban can take 2 or 3 hours even. I kid you not. So what would normally just be like a 45-minute drive could turn into a 3-hour drive if you try to do it at the wrong time, which is one major reason why I am driving at this really, really early hour. I just want to avoid getting caught in that crazy Kuala Lumpur to Seremban highway jam. So with some luck we should be in Seremban before 6 o'clock in the morning. If, however, I had started off driving later, and I suppose if I tried to cross Kuala Lumpur after 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., then I'd get stuck in the traffic, and then the drive could take 2 hours or 3, and then some terribly congested traffic. So anyway, here we go. Just clear the rest stop. Some heavy vehicles occupying both the lanes, but since it's a 3-lane thingy, we have managed to be at a decent pace now, and what is that to do but to continue along our journey? Since we are fresh, we can try to be on this lane. We're not going to be able to overtake that guy much because, like I said, that there's a speed limit thingy. We are probably only going to be driving at like 1 or 2 kilometers per hour faster than that guy. Not worth it hogging the lane. So let's just go back into this lane. Less stress, and leave the faster lane for those who want to exceed the speed limit. By golly, at the moment I decide not to overtake that guy, he slows down a bit. And hey bro, what's all this? What's all this bad behavior? at me just to go and start tailing the guy that I was also tailing. So you're not really moving any faster than I would have been moving. Yeah. What are you? We've got another rest station in this section of the road. We've got quite a few of these rest areas here. Perhaps it's got something to do with the fact that there's a lot of traffic during the daytime in this area. So there's value in having a few scattered rest areas, whereas between Ipoh and this area, the earlier Behrang that we stopped at, yeah, for a stretch of about, I don't know, for about 80 kilometers or so, there was only one rest area. And now within the next, the subsequent 50 kilometers stretch, there will be about 3 rest areas, 2 of which are actually smaller, but there is one larger one ahead, and during festive seasons and festive holidays, not only is the highway which is totally congested, with traffic unable to move fast, but oh, look at that truck here, he's so wide, he can't, it's overflowing to my lane, and there's another big bus trying to overtake me as well. That's one of those buses that I said, would happily drive at 120 or 130. Yeah. And then, what the hell? What kind of lights does he have at the back here? Not just indicators, but another one of those guys who can't decide whether he wants to be on the highway or in some dance hall somewhere. Yeah. So dangerous actually, because you're following vehicles like that, you got no clue what to do. Look at that, and he just overtook another slow moving truck. That guy is moving so bloody slow. He should be on the leftmost lane, but oh no, he decided to move into this so-called reasonable speed lane, while we are already beginning to have big trucks, large vehicles come flashing by. This problem with large buses, especially flaunting the speed regulations and speed limits, has been around forever, so to speak, and then somehow they never managed to clamp down on them. It's just got to do with lack of will of enforcement, because I don't even want to venture into trying to explain the issue. It's just, it's for the enforcement authorities to explain why they are unable to enforce speed, speeding issues on these buses. kilometers. Yeah. So what's he doing? I don't know. 150. construction. They have to be doing, road works at unearthly hours, just so that they don't disrupt traffic or the heavy traffic during the daytime. Yeah, because I think in some other earlier video you might have seen one scene where last week, as I was driving up from Kuala Lumpur towards Kulim, driving northwards, there was road congestion on this highway, yeah, for just many miles on each end, many kilometers, let's talk metric, on each end, and it seemed like there was some kind of a road construction going on. It caused heavy congestion of traffic. Yeah. So now we've got this guy ahead of us. We should not be ahead of us for too much longer, but there's some other guy behind us who wants to get ahead of us, so I have to decide when to make way. Let's just overtake this guy and get moving into the other lane. Let the guy behind us get ahead of us if he wants to, but he's not making any attempt. So get ahead of this other truck ahead of us. That's the one thing, yeah, if you want to be overtaking traffic, then you got to, be on the very alert for the lanes that you're doing, for what other traffic there is, so driving becomes very not relaxing. Drive in a more relaxing way, drive slower and move into the slower lanes. And as we are now, we move into this lane so we can let whoever is behind us get ahead of us before we slip into that lane and we ourselves get ahead of this truck in front of us. Very alert, it can be a little bit of fun. Moving from one lane to another and from one speed to another while keeping an eye out for the other traffic from the other lanes and your own lane. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. There comes a point where it's stressful to be working so hard while you're driving, and that's when you pull over into a slower lane and take some tension off. Right now we've got this car ahead of us who is not driving much slower than us, so it will take forever to overtake him unless we speed, which I don't want to do. So I'll just move behind him, and he's overtaking this slow moving truck, and then he goes back into the middle lane. Very sensible kind of a driver, so let's do the same. Sort of like tail him, so to speak. the sky sort of like getting a bit lighter in the distance here, and it's only about 4 a.m. It doesn't get that bright that early in Malaysia. The sunrise is usually about 6-ish or 7. No, 7 it'll be bright already. So let's say 6-ish in the morning, and we are just in January, which is like the winter-ish season in the northern hemisphere. So it's not like we're going to get sunrise early. So that's a bit surprising. Or is it just that the sky is bright because of city lights we're pushing Kuala Lumpur? Well, that would be curious, and now I see the makings of a yawn appearing. Truck moving slow. Yeah, that's just you see what I mean about overtaking a truck when we are much faster than them. Yeah, but because we have 3 lanes and the lane to my right is clear, no traffic behind me, so I let the car go on at that so-called faster-ish speed. We are approaching another rest area. That's like what been so far 3 or 4 rest areas since we made our stop in Behrang. It's about 20 minutes ago. But it's good to have many different stop rest areas. But these are all small ones here, and they won't be able to handle the congestion that will come during festive seasons. During festive seasons, even the largest rest areas, tend to get congested, and they can't cope with the amount of traffic that's coming in. And by God, all those businesses there will be making humongous amounts of profit. But oh well, I suppose everybody's got a right to make a humongous amount of profit now and then. And then again, there are some days which are very slow. Weekdays, so all's fair. And good luck to everybody. May everybody become rich and be able to, support my streams and buy my music. Hey guys, and come into my live music sessions regularly on Twitch. It's easy. Just use your mobile and go in, or your browser or whatever, go into twitch.tv and see my channel. It's Reggae Sing. One word, RAGGY, Sing, SINGH. There. You can see my links all over the place. Look at that shameless self-promotion. But hey, come on. Like I said, I want everybody to be rich. Then they can come support my channels, and then one day I'll become rich too. Sky is a bit light. Yeah, perhaps it is Kuala Lumpur traffic. Look at that. All these red lights now. I don't know which ones are the tail lights of vehicles and which ones are, God knows, red lights from whatever. But the thing is, the road, it's a little bit hilly in some areas. So in some places the road is dipping, and then in some areas it's raised. So you will see, the tail lights of vehicles high up. But then again, the red lights on the right that we are seeing are not from this road. They're from some other red light, from some other thing. Yeah, okay. Here's this sound of some scattered, I don't know, debris on the road or something like that. Sometimes it will be like little pebbles from roadworks that were on recently, or I don't know. Road seems clear. Now let's just get into this. So, you see, because I noticed a yawn coming, but don't worry, I'm still quite awake. I don't feel that, sleepiness or whatever. Just maybe my body internal clock realizing that, hey, it's 4 a.m. and this guy hasn't gone to sleep yet. But I do sometimes sleep late. Sometimes often when I do my streams, live streams on Twitch, I usually start at 11 p.m. Malaysia time and I finish at about 2 or 3 a.m. Sometimes even into 4 a.m. And then after that, I'm all hyped up and I want to sleep for a few hours. Find it difficult to fall asleep. Finally, often only manage to fall asleep at 5 a.m. and then I'm up again at 7:30 in the morning because I've got to go into the office to work because one needs a day job to survive. You cannot survive for this a musician's income in Malaysia. It's a complicated world one lives in, and I sleep very little at nights. Then I compensate by taking naps in the afternoon. Actually, not naps, I sleep a fair bit in the afternoon. Sometimes for 2 or 3 hours, sometimes for 4, or yes, in today's case, about 5 hours in the afternoon. Here we are driving on to Kulim still. Got no idea how far away we are from Kuala Lumpur. I guess 15, 20 minutes, so to speak. And then another hour to Seremban, so we probably about an hour and a half away from Seremban, and it's about 4 o'clock now, so we should be in Seremban before 6 in the morning. Again, the family home, and wake them up saying I've arrived, or I could just park outside the house and just sleep in the car for an hour or so before calling them. Pointless ruining others' sleep, unless absolutely necessary, because once they let me in, then all I'm going to do is sleep, or maybe have a bit of breakfast, sleep, or there are places still open. Well, of course, there are places still open in Malaysia. There always are places to eat that are open, but I don't know where those places are in Seremban anymore, in my own hometown. Yeah. But hang on, I could just drop by a rest. A rest area on the highway before Seremban, and have a breakfast there. Pass a bit of time there. Look at that. Possibilities. Here we are. There's another rest area. Look at that. As we approach Kuala Lumpur, there's so many rest area. Yeah. Rest areas. Trucks parked there already the side of the road, and then here we go, more flashing lights. Flashing lights is we're approaching one of the, I don't know, iconic rest areas on the North-South Highway. This is the, what they call the overhead restaurant, rest area. You look at us here. Here, overhead here is like it's actually rest area, and it's got restaurants on both sides. And even in the overhead section, there are a few of the restaurants, so they are overlooking this highway. And this is one of those few. In fact, it's the only restaurant I know of on the North-South Highway. Where you park on one side, and then you can walk on the interconnecting overhead area, and even walk over to the other side. And you can eat from any of the restaurants on the other side, and then walk back to wherever you were at, and then continue on your journey. Of course, your vehicle can't cross over to the other side. You just have to walk across. Cool. All right, so now we've exited one segment of the highway. That segment that we were on continues and proceeds direct towards KL city. This is another a sub route, and it goes or passes by KL city suburb areas. You can see some signboards. I don't know if you can read them, but it passes by Kota Damansara, USJ, Subang, and it continues on towards a nearby city called Klang, which is a port city. It used to be like a major shipping port, and it was called Port Swettenham in the colonial days. Now they've changed the name of the port to Port Klang, and it's in the city of Klang. Not much happening in Klang, but if you're a foodie, and if you know about a dish called bak kut teh, which I talk about sometimes, Port Klang has the best bak kut teh in the whole world. Well, bak kut teh is a Chinese meat soup dish that actually originated in Malaysia. So that's a separate long story. Do your research. Net speed limit is 90 here, so let's go ahead and follow the speed limit. So once again, it's early hours, so there's no congestion. But if I were to be driving into this area during the daylight hours, especially during so-called rush hour, this road gets pretty congested. So here are some exits that go to various suburban parts of Kuala Lumpur. Not the main city itself. This one exits to Damansara and Petaling Jaya. Lots and lots of pubs and clubs and places with live music, and this part of Kuala Lumpur. Further ahead is an exit to Subang and Subang Jaya areas of Kuala Lumpur. Subang is where the old airport used to be. It's still there, but it only serves some local flights. The main airport has moved now to a place called KLIA. That's Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and they've got like 2 terminuses. Is it terminuses or termini? Oh, I'm inventing words in languages already now. So they have 2 terminals. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, terminals. Yep. Terminal 1, the main terminal, and Terminal 2, which is a low-cost terminal. So that's all part of KLIA. We shall actually be taking a highway that passes that area, because the KLIA terminals in a town called Sepang, which was like a town nobody even knew existed before they decided to build a highway there. Then suddenly the property prices skyrocketed there because a highway was coming, and those fortunate enough to own property there or fortunate enough to have bought property there before everyone else knew about a highway coming up. Well, they all made huge huge piles of money, and there were many people who owned little small oil palm estate areas and stuff there, which had to be bought over by the people who were building the airport, because like they needed land right for the airport runways and stuff. So all those people who owned land there, the small time oil palm, small holding areas, owners, suddenly they were all millionaires overnight, because the property was bought, and guys who were just living in small houses suddenly had so much of money they didn't know what to do with the money, and so they started building huge, grandiose mansions in that area and buying big cars and stuff like that, what's that term for this kind of people? Well, newly rich, know you rich or something like that. I don't speak French, but apparently there's a term for this kind of. And so these guys were all overnight millionaires. Of course, it doesn't mean that if you're an overnight millionaire, you also are an overnight financial wizard. You just became a millionaire because the land that was like worth nothing before, suddenly is worth everything. So, I hear stories that many of them just frittered away their money. And so after some years of being rich, then they went back to being not rich. And hey, they didnne have that land anymore. The land had been sold off to the airport people. So suddenly they were like, not rich and didn't have that land. What does that make them? I don't know. But hopefully they had, something left over to tide themselves over in their not rich status, so to speak. So anyway, moral of the story, and nothing that comes easy is ever easy. Life tends to continue at its own complicated pace. So when something comes too easy to you, life just has to come up with some new complication that can keep you going on in a complicated way as intended. I think if you want to have life come a little bit easy, you have to work for it. And even then, it may not come easy, but if you work to make your life become a bit easier, and then you will know how to manage it and stuff like that, then maybe it's okay. So now we've hitched onto another highway thing. They've got so many of these highway segments in Kuala Lumpur. I'm afraid I don't know the names of all of them, but you will hear people who live in Kuala Lumpur talking about this highway and that highway and that highway. They all refer to all these different segments that link up with each other. This one, to my mind's eye, is like the highway that links the periphery of Kuala Lumpur with KL International Airport and the new administrative capital of Malaysia called Cyberjaya. All those are ahead of us, and to our rear is a town called Shah Alam, which is the capital of the state of Selangor. Kuala Lumpur used to be in the state of Selangor, but then it became designated as the federal capital. So it's federal territory, and it's a state by itself. So it's in the center of the state of Selangor. But it's a federal territory. So the rest of it is Selangor. It's all a little bit confusing. But hey, that's the way the world goes. So anyway, Shah Alam is the capital of Selangor. It's along this highway, but in the opposite direction. So we are moving away. We've hatched on to Shah Alam kind of a highway, and it goes on ahead. Most of the Kuala Lumpur is towards our left. As we were driving just now, we were like encircling Kuala Lumpur from one section. I said we were passing by areas like Damansara and USJ and stuff. They are all towards our left. So this exit that we just saw would have connected again with those areas. We're just like doing a kind of an arc around those areas, and then you can connect from there to Kuala Lumpur city, and you can also connect on this highway system to the highway that leads towards the east, north and east of the peninsula. You just hop onto a different highway that connects to a different highway, and then ultimately takes you to the highway that takes you to where you want to go. So when you're driving into Kuala Lumpur, you just have to learn your highway systems and learn which ones you want to go, or have a good driving app that will tell you where to turn when you want to turn. Use Waze, guys. So we are on this segment. So some parts of Kuala Lumpur, like I say, we are sort of like going in the circumference in an arc. So to our left is Kuala Lumpur, Petaling Jaya territories and stuff. Straight ahead, we will pass Cyber Jaya, which is like and Putra Jaya, which are like Cyber Jaya is like the IT city that was built. And Putra Jaya is the administrative capital. And then later we'll be passing by the exit to KLIA, the international airport. And then this highway will intersect with the north-south highway again. It'll intersect with the north-south highway as it goes from Seremban to Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. So the north-south highway, even though we were on it, but we exited it. Hang on, I just got to. Okay, the speed limit here is back to 110. So anyway, I said we exited the north-south highway, hooked up onto a highway that did a bit of an arc at the circumference, periphery of Kuala Lumpur, and then now we're going to meet up with that highway again. I didn't use the path that led right through Kuala Lumpur city on the way down to Seremban. there is no exact direct path through the city, but we're going to come up and meet with the north-south highway again. Because what happens is this is not like designated as a north-south highway. It's got a different name to it. And the north-south highway, as it is designated for that segment, is like from the south of Kuala Lumpur towards Singapore, or Johor Bahru would be the Malaysian city at the end of it, yeah, that means Singapore. So we just been sort of like doing a bit of a circumference, arcing to the side of that highway, and then we're going to come up and meet it again. Yeah. So like I said, I couldn't drive just through Kuala Lumpur to that north-south highway. I didn't do that because that's actually takes a little bit more time than this, because there's sort of like side roads that not side roads, yeah, it's still a highway-ish kind of a thing, but it goes through the city itself. Yeah. I suppose there would not be that much of a time difference in driving along that way and this is circle-ish kind of a way, because at this time there's not much traffic in the city, but there'd be a speed limit for a lot of the section of highway there, and so for some reason, even though this way may be a little bit longer in distance, but it is about similar traveling time right now. But of course, during the daylight, when there is like city traffic and stuff like that, this way is much more convenient and time-saving to drive here. So says my driving app. Let's see, drive on. We are about 20 or 30 minutes away from the Seremban area rest station. Oh, hang on, here we're coming to an exit that connects with Cyberjaya and Putrajaya, this administrative and the IT sections of Kuala Lumpur. saying that, oh, we are about 20 minutes or 30 minutes away from the Seremban area rest station, where I think I'll pull over there, and have a very early breakfast. Pass a little bit of time there, so I'll only sort of plan to reach my family home at about 6-ish in the morning. Time now is like 4:45 or so in the morning. If I drive straight on, I'll probably be at home at about 5:30 in the morning. I think just let them sleep a little bit more. So have a breakfast and then drive on and reach home. And then go to sleep again. Then take a nap and sleep for a few hours. Another truck with his hazard lights flashing away. Yeah, bro, what's happening? We know you're on the highway. Yeah, we see you. Yeah, you don't have to flash that many lights. It's bloody irritating. Another small car that's in a hurry. Yeah. So in this section, of this particular highway, you see a lot of billboards here. It's like, this is a route that a lot of people will take while driving to the airport, and somehow everybody assumes that if you're headed to the airport, you've got lots of money to spend. So everybody wants to attract your attention, yeah. I would have thought that, if you're headed to the airport, it means that, you've already spent all of your money on your flight tickets, and now you don't have any money left to spend, and you're going to spend it when you get wherever you're going to, yeah. You're not going to spend it here. But, oh well, what do I know about business and advertising and stuff like that? I'm feeling pangs of hunger. Hunger. Because I had already talked about having breakfast, yeah, and somehow my conscious has told my subconscious about my plans, and my subconscious has, realized that, hey, this guy might want to feed me, so to speak, and now my subconscious started talking to my stomach and my salivary glands and my whatever glands and stuff like that. And now everybody's like, oh yeah, when are we eating, bro? When are we eating? And everybody's like, I'm hungry. Right, here's the intersection to, KL International Airport coming up. Not that you're going planes flying or anything like that. Yeah, it's just an intersection, and then it's another, I don't know, 15 minutes drive also to the airport. For practical purpose, what we will notice is that, you know, suddenly there are no more billboards on this highway. Yeah, they'll start the billboards on the KLIA stretch now. All the highway then on this particular highway then starts to become a bit lonely until it meets up with and intersects with the main north-south highway again. Yep, there's the exit to KLIA in the town of Sepang. Proceed down to Seremban, and you know, further down south Johor Bahru, another 300 kilometers down. Hey. So I suppose if you were driving down from Penang towards Johor Bahru in Singapore, you know, if you're doing the driving alone, then you have to break up the journey, you know, into a few segments, like I'm doing. But I'm doing this, you know, after having had really good sleep, and I'm driving at a time where there's little traffic. So it's well, apart from the fact that it's night driving and there's some traffic glare, it's still been a fairly relaxing kind of a drive. But if you're driving alone and it's during the daytime, then there's much more traffic and it'll take a long time, a longer time at least. And if you're driving all the way to Singapore, to Johor Bahru, you know, you've got to break the journey, take a rest. It could be rather tiring to drive here. But if there's, you know, if you're driving and there's somebody else with you who can also drive, then, you know, it might be good. You can take turns to drive, and the journey becomes much more relaxing here. You can have a, you know, make a few pit stops, so to speak, rest, use the washroom, stretch your legs, have a meal or two, then switch drivers, you know, and whoever has been driving, if you're tired, you can sort of, like, you know, take a nap or whatever, or just, you know, just sit and relax and, you know, watch the scenery. No rush. And then the whole journey would be Penang to Kuala Lumpur, about 350 kilometers, and then Kuala Lumpur to Johor Bahru, as a signboard was indicating, another 300 kilometers. So you're talking about like 650 kilometers probably from Penang to Johor Bahru. So your Penang to Kuala Lumpur segment of the journey would take about 4.5 hours, let's say, you know, with 1 or 2 stops for a meal and rest, or 4 hours if you didn't stop and you just switch drivers between. And then from Kuala Lumpur to Johor Bahru, probably another 4 hours. I mean, even though the distance is 300 kilometers from KL to Johor Bahru, and theoretically you're driving most of the time at 110 kilometers per hour, but there are some sections where you have to slow down. So in theory you could do that KL to Johor Bahru segment in 3 hours, but in practice it might be like, maybe like 4 hours. You stop anyway to just rest and use a rest station. So anyway, from Penang to Johor Bahru, if 2 people were driving, taking turns, you could probably do that in about 8 to 9 hours, I suppose. Still a fair journey. Most of the intercity buses, they would have 2 drivers. They take turns to do the drive, and they make one stop between Penang and Kuala Lumpur, and another one stop between Kuala Lumpur and Johor Bahru. Each stop being about like 20 minutes or so, or 30. I think it's 20 minutes. And so they would cover the journey from Penang to KL in about 4.5 hours, and again about 4.5 hours to Johor Bahru. But as you approach the city of Johor Bahru, the traffic congestion starts, speed limit drops a fair bit to 90-ish again. So you could be spending about half an hour or 45 minutes from the outskirts of Johor Bahru right down to the city center. So your KL to Johor Bahru journey might take you about 4.5 to 5 hours. I used to be able to do that sort of drives alone, and drive from Penang to Kuala Lumpur even without taking a break. But that was like when I was so much younger, maybe about 20 years ago. Nowadays I need to take at least one break between Penang and Kuala Lumpur, or 2 breaks. Depends more on mental alertness, and then the sensation of being cramped in a car. If you have a comfortable car, that cramping thing is not really a big factor, but the mental alertness is a big factor, because I keep saying, driving on the highways or driving on anywhere in Malaysia, it's a bit stressful mentally. You have to be just on the alert for so many other things, and so many crazy drivers, especially when the roads are congested. This particular highway is now going to sort of like come to an intersection. It doesn't continue on to some place by itself. It will split, into one going towards our right and one going towards our left. And towards the left is Kuala Lumpur. Towards the right is Seremban and Johor Bahru, heading towards Singapore. So to our left is headed north, and to our right is headed south. And you can probably see from the signboards and stuff like that. And for some interesting reason, the road will take a fairly sharp curve to the right. There are trucks and stuff like that. Some of these trucks are big. I don't know how much of the road that they would encroach into. The last thing that you'd want to do is be trying to overtake some huge big truck as he is trying to negotiate a difficult curve. So let's just let this guy do his thing before we have to, overtake him. And then here we go. We're going to meet the North-South Highway. It's the Kuala Lumpur southward stretch of it, and here we go. Road becomes wide again. I think over here we might have 4 lanes on each side between Kuala Lumpur and Seremban, and you might think, wow, 4 lanes on each side, that's going to be like great driving here. But believe me, this road gets very, very congested during the day, and on weekends, especially when it's like towards the office hours, this road gets extremely congested because many people who work in Kuala Lumpur actually live in Seremban. It used to be just like a nice simple 45-minute drive along this highway to Kuala Lumpur. So a lot of people who work in Kuala Lumpur decided to just buy property and live in Seremban because cost of living is so very much cheaper in Seremban, and property prices in Seremban are just only about 1/3 of what they would be for a similar property in Kuala Lumpur. And there were like excellent excellent intercity bus services with just one company running a fleet of almost 100 buses running from Seremban to Kuala Lumpur, and you would go to the main bus terminal and there'll be one bus departing every 5 minutes to Kuala Lumpur, and it would serve the city center. So a lot of people would take buses to Kuala Lumpur, not even bother to drive to Kuala Lumpur. One of my sisters who works in Kuala Lumpur, and she lives in Seremban, and she does that every day. But unfortunately, more and more people started doing this, and then many people would drive to Kuala Lumpur, and then there are like small towns in between Seremban and Kuala Lumpur. Nilai, for example, is another town which then became very popular amongst industrialists, because they thought, why open a big factory in Kuala Lumpur where it's already congested? Find a smaller town just 30 minutes away from Kuala Lumpur, build up a factory there, get lots of workers from neighboring rural areas. So this place called Nilai, as we are passing through it now, or soon, got a huge industrial estate, lots of industries here. Seremban has huge industrial estate as well. So all of this traffic also, invariably uses this highway, or workers from this area. So during normal working days, this highway is congested, and so the original 2 lanes were not enough. They expanded it to 3 lanes and now 4 lanes. And then on weekends, people from Kuala Lumpur who are headed south for the weekend holiday, they would just leave Kuala Lumpur early in the day and then head south, and they would create their own massive traffic jam. On weekends, it will be the working people moving up and down, having their own traffic jam, and the journey that used to take an easy 45 minutes now can take about 3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah. So this sort of this place became a victim of its own success, so to speak. Alright, anyway, rest area in about 2 kilometers, and I did say that we were going to go and pull over this rest area. So let me just get into that lane, so to speak. Follow some of these structures. Already put an indicator. I got his stomach has started growling, and the mouth has started salivating, and the brain has started sending, "Hey, I'm hungry, I'm getting signals to me." So it's just how quickly it's forgotten that, I've fed it 2 big cups of tea and a roti canai before I took the drive. So there is no reason to feel hungry, guys, and normal breakfast time is only about 8-ish in the morning for me. But hey, and it's only 5 o'clock, so anyway, I do need to, take some time home. Saw some debris on the highway just now. Yeah, that's like a debris from some truck wheel. Yeah, hey, bro, what's happening here? Oh, I hate it when there's a road intersection which is not marked or not signed, so you don't know whether you're supposed to go right or left or up or down or straight ahead. And by golly, have they closed this rest station? Is there a place for us to? I think we just missed that bloody intersection. Oh, have they closed? That area. Whenever you see this silly bar across the road at the rest station, it means that's the lane just for cars. But all well and good, lane just for cars, but where the hell is the food? I do believe that all the foodie areas are not functioning. It's just all places to park. And they were like petrol stations, but bro, me wanna eat, bro. Me wanna eat. Where the food? Where food? Oh, maybe they, modify this area. You can go right or left. Oh God, me not happy, bro, with this. Me hungry. I wanna eat. Me body telling me, brain, we've been conned. Been conned. This fellow, he said that he's going to feed us, and now he can't even find a place to eat. Just petrol. Petrol, he want to feed the car, yeah? Let's see. I could actually put petrol now. 85 kilometers, we can make Seremban, but we need to petrolify the car at a certain stage. Okay, but we can do that when we're in Seremban. But we need to eatify our body. Oh no food. No food. We've been conned. We've been conned. All that planning. We're hungry. We have to go to Seremban. Alright. We shall have to trouble the sister to give us a meal, or no, hang on, I'll just see if I can find some place to eat in Seremban. But by golly, yeah, that was a bummer. I didn't expect that, yeah. I didn't expect that, they should have, or perhaps, sort of like at least put up some kind of a notice along the highway, yeah, that okay, rest areas without food ahead. Way is being conned. Okay, I'm just also having a look at my car's fuel gauge here. It's saying that we can do another 80 kilometers. It's showing a quarter of a tank on one side, but only 80 kilometers of range being given. I suppose the fuel tank gauge itself, it's not linear. So it shows a quarter, but then it will begin to drop very quickly. Whereas there's a meter that gives an estimated remaining range left, and that meter is saying 83 kilometers. That tends to be a bit more accurate with a bit of leeway. It's got, I think, about another 20 or 30 kilometers leeway, so the car can still do another 100 kilometers. And Seremban is about 20 or 30 kilometers away here, so we should be good. We should be good, no reason to get excited. Just a reason to feel a bit hungry, but hey, no worries, I've got my travel drink with me, which I never drink unless I'm traveling. And there's a Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola contains a high amount of sugar, so that's sugar energy. It also contains these bloody nicotine-like substances, which work against diarrhea. So if you've eaten something a little bit iffy while you're traveling, especially in Asia when you have curries and stuff like that, yeah, have a bit of Coca-Cola and it slows down your gut. Anyway, I just had that. Spots of raindrops. Let's just clean this. So if we are going to be taking videos, we might as well as try to ensure that the windscreen is clear. And here we go again. Yeah, another situation where some slow traffic, some very slow traffic, so a little bit of difficulty in judging what speed to drive at. So I had to flash my lights at that guy because he was wandering into this overtaking lane without himself actually committing to it. Away from this lane because somebody else behind me who wants to overtake me at a higher speed. So we'll stick to this lane. that's the exit to Seremban. Just ahead, that's an exit that goes to the main town of Seremban. My family home is on the southern-ish part of Seremban, so that's the next exit. Same exit as goes to or same exit as the one you take to Port Dickson. Yeah. So my family home is on the Seremban Port Dickson Road side here, but it's near the Seremban Hospital. Anyway, it just means that we don't take this exit, we take the next exit. A little bit of rain coming in. I'm just trying to crack my head to think where to go and have a breakfast. There should be some place open that side of Seremban for really better chances of finding some place to have breakfast at this hour. It's just 5 in the morning. We should have gone into Seremban town, this exit that we passed. Go and look up some of the old places that I used to know would be open at this hour, but then it's going to start raining. But there's a slight drizzle, so I don't want to do that. Just take my chances and see if I can find a place to eat before I reach home. Otherwise, just go there, pull over by the side of the road, sleep a bit, then call my sister. Let me in. Just have some, make myself a simple breakfast. And here we come towards the Seremban Port Dickson exit. Well, hoping that all the videos got recorded decently, that you can see the road and the driving, as intended. My rambling monologue is not important. You can always have shut off the audio, or if the audio is totally indistinct or whatever, I could just turn it off. Because I think that you can already see the drive, so to speak. But having said which, some of you guys might be interested in some of my rambling. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. So let's see. Automated toll. I wonder how much the toll would have been here from Kulim to here. About 40-50 ringgit. 42 ringgit and 30 cents. Not too bad, yeah. Oh, not too bad. I think in many other countries toll rates are so much higher. Okay, and now we are on the hunt for some food. Restaurant, roadside. As long even if it's a cup of tea, we are good. We're just about 5 minutes away from home, so if we're gonna find a place, we're gonna find it soon. chance. 7 a.m. 100%. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. 7-Eleven. No, shop just about to start business, but not quite open. That side. Slow drive. Nothing on that side. Nothing on this side. Oh, the hungry we shall be. The hungry we shall be. Hungry we shall be. The little marts. 7-Eleven. Oh, he's wanting some place where they cooked our food for us. There is a so-called place-ish that could be open. That right? Suspicious. Let's see. That building up there, Seremban Hospital, a lighted thing, and here is a satellite kind of a hospital, where certain of the hospital facilities are. And then now it's become a private hospital of its own. This is where I thought I saw a place to eat. Yes, there is a place. And the sign here says one-way street. Oh God, this truckish guy has decided to effing be a bit of a pest. Wow, I'm so close to that motorbike. Clear tak dia? Yang ini clear tak?
Ha?
Boleh lepas tak motor ni?
Boleh.
Kereta saya boleh lepas? Just wanted to make sure I didn't, end up causing some kind of a disaster. The asshole had to close in. Anyway, he's going to have a bit of a breakfast. That little honk that he gave, I talked about people honking and saying thank you or whatever. Yeah, there was that. So, all's good. And now we end this video while we go for breakfast.